Hello, hello, and welcome back to Shatter Our Souls. Once again, I am Novaria back with the original Borderlands. Now, last time we finished every single conceivable side quest in the entire early game, and it is time to tackle the Headstone Mines. Now, the Headstone Mine is a zone that houses one of the more unique bosses, Sledge. Unlike Sledge, I actually aim to kill. Um, Jokes aside, Sledge is a very high damage close range fighter, to the point that the weapon that he has absolutely zero range but insane knockback. So, I thought, I feel as though this will go pretty reasonably overall. It's going to be a bit of a learning curve getting through here, but honestly, I don't foresee anything out here getting the best of me. It's going to be, if anything, it's the boss himself that's going to get the best of me, and I already have a plan for that. So, I've got my plan, I've got everything figured out that I need to figure out. What's next? Execution? Execution. Yeah. Trusty sidearms. Almost as powerful as a sniper rifle, but with, honestly, at times, far more versatility. Um, yeah, right now, as things are, I'm expecting that the mid to late game is going to be fairly easy. Um, as I specified in the last video, the difficulty curve in Borderlands tends to taper off about halfway through the game, or 1/3 of the way to halfway through the game. Generally speaking, it is the first major. Once you hit about level 20, the original Borderlands doesn't really offer much in the terms of huge difficulty ramp ups. It still does have its moments, but its moments are more so about enemy placement than they are about um, throwing everything that they actually or that they have at you all at once. So I think, with that being said, that I am in pretty good hands. We've got an incendiary sniper that was able to absolutely demolish the boss of Sledge's safe house. I was able to make it through the Lost Cavern without even breaking a sweat, which is almost unheard of, at least for me. And then proceeded to go through the Circle of Death with Raid Zaben in one quick sitting, with only one major enemy that actually put up any sort of decent fight. So I think I'm in good. Things are looking up right now. What bothers me and what has me concerned is the Mulciber Mark II. Um, the Mulciber Mark II is a turret But as a turret, the Mulciber Mark II is hits like a truck. It is very hard to actually deal with it in any short fashion. It needs to be dealt with at range in order to even have a hope of dealing with it. It also has a very frustrating shield that is relatively potent. No, it doesn't have a shield. Never mind. I'm just putting thoughts into my head. You. No, I don't want an SMG. Yeah. Right now, I think I'm doing okay as far as everything goes. I'm getting decent ammunition upgrades. Most of this area is more or less solved. And it's just going to be tackling the boss sledge, which is going to be my main concern for the going forward. And I'll be completely honest, I am really excited about not being in the Badlands anymore and heading into a new region, the Rusts. But that's about probably 2 to 3 videos out at this point. Probably 2. For now, let's just hope that things continue to go well. Um, as I was saying, with Sledge, I sort of have a plan in mind to take him down quickly and concisely. Um, the plan basically revolves around making sure that I keep a door shut at all times. The boss himself has the ability, has a door on two doors to enter the arena, just on either side of the same wall. Um, by using those two doors to your advantage, you can effectively reduce the amount of time that he's in contact with you at any distance, thus effectively shutting down any opportunity he has to deal any noticeable damage to you. He's still going to hit like a truck, he's still going to do damage, it's still going to hurt. But the amount of damage that he does is far lower using this strategy than trying to challenge him head on. Elemental effects also work great on Sledge because, well, why wouldn't they? He is a giant, slow enemy that needs to walk from one area to another. Sledge is named after his primary weapon, which is a giant sledgehammer. It would make sense that elemental effects wouldn't exactly be his cup of tea. Once again, can I hit it? The answer is no. So I'm just going to do a quick double check here. Yeah. Nope, not worth it. Primal revolver. Also not worth it. Just clearing out the inventory. Nothing serious. What I like about the headstone mines is kind of its more twist and turn nature. There's numerous areas that enemies can come out of from past mining expeditions, old buildings, cabins, you name it. It all is available for the enemies to use as they need. All right. So, I'm just going to take a moment here and regen. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Hello, and I'm back. Sorry about that. Um, the healing shield is great in some circumstances, but really leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to timeliness. That being said, of course, I gladly take a little bit of a weight over not having enough HP. So yeah, we took the weight. All right. So at this point in time, I think almost everything is in place for the challenging of the Headstone Mines boss. But we'll see. Now, I kind of have a bit of a rant coming on again. One of the things about Borderlands that I find interesting is the might is right mentality. Every single boss in the early game is all about strength. They have something that makes them unique. They hit harder. They have more power. They have the biggest guns. They befriended a pair of skags. Each and every one of them has something unique to them that only they have. This, of course, in turn, makes it somewhat of a moot point in certain circumstances. At times it feels kind of silly to talk about strength and the might is right mentality, but it's kind of what everybody has, even the mega corporations. Everybody has this ideology that if they have the biggest guns, the loudest, the heaviest, the whatnot, they're going to do better overall. And while I'm sure that it is somewhat reasonable in the realm of Borderlands, in our day and age, Might is Right doesn't exactly fit a proper governing style. Although I'll admit that there's a lot to be desired there in our world as well. The thing is that the people who have the power in this, like you've got the average guy here, there's really nothing special about half of these bandits. Yet some of them I think would be a better fit for a leadership role than, let's say, Nine Toes. But I also think that Nine Toes is at least has something going for him in being a beastmaster of sorts. Someone who has become one with the elements of Pandora. But that's kind of a question mark in my world, because how seasoned is he really? Like, there's very few reasons why an individual would have nine toes, except maybe accidental weapon discharge. Bonehead just took the skulls off of something and put them on his helmet and said, "Hey, guess what? I'm Bonehead. I'm the next big leader." And everybody thought, okay, that makes sense. Like, at least with the Roid Rage, at least with the Roid Rage Psycho, the third boss of the game, he at least had something going for him in terms of his size, his raw strength. But he didn't have anything going for him in terms of intelligence, which is why he was more of a glorified bodyguard for Sledge. Anyways, oh, very nice, a new transfusion grenade. Still can't upgrade my storage decks. I will give him credit for his use of aesthetic. So, we walk in, we hit the lever, we run away. Like, Sledge's helmet is just a glorified welder's helmet that's been painted. Oh, joy. I am stuck in a corner with these guys. My plan has already gone well off the rails. Open the door, go through the door. Okay. It's fine, it's fine. Nope, nope, it is not. Ouch. Go through the door. Healing shield enabled. I'll be right back. Alright, Sledge has moved halfway across the arena, so we can get some easy pop shots on him with some elemental damage. Theoretically, assuming that I can actually get out of here before my shield is destroyed. HP is back up. Perfect. There's some HP back. Okay. I am terrified about actually fighting him mano-a-mano because his weapon is so powerful by comparison to what I've got right now. Oh, joy, it didn't actually kill me. Perfect. Awesome. We have officially beaten Sledge. I'm going to be completely honest. This is the furthest I've ever gotten in a Deathless challenge for this game. So something's obviously working out well for me. Could be good luck. It could be the fact that I grew so sick and tired of dying all the time that I actually stayed behind a bit to grind up some more levels. What I do know is that we officially have our first Iridian artifact. Holy mola. Well, that's good to finally be able to say. Sledge has been defeated. So, where to next? Well, I think it's time to cash a couple of missions in to raid Zabin. And Commandant Steele is, of course, trying to steal the show. But this is my show, darn it, Commandant. Get out of here. Atlas Corporation can walk away because they're not getting anything out of me. And when I finally run into you, Commandant Steele, I am going to make sure you are turned into a donut. Anywho. Knowing what the remainder of the game looks like in some capacity, and having an actual fully leveled up version of Mordecai on one of my other profiles, I'd like to say I know where I'm headed with this build. But honestly, I have no idea. I've more so been focusing on healing and that sort of stuff, simply because I feel like it's the one of the more important things for a deathless challenge. If you can't survive, if you get taken out in 2 hits, you're not going to be able to get to the end without dying. It's my mentality. So, with my mentality out in the open, I've got a whole bunch of things that I would like to do. Not the least of which is drive these runners in the most ridiculous way possible, simply to show how ridiculous you can drive a runner. Oh yay! There's all my old weaponry. We are. I have been streaming or recording this for about half an hour, with roughly 5 or 6 minutes worth of it being exclusively um, regen. So, with that, I think it is time to do a whole bunch of side quests once again, because I don't know what else to do at this moment in time. Got time to kill and a lot to do, as far as a lot to potentially do as far as what the game has in store for me. We are, of course, going to start by checking each location that we can get side missions from. And we are going to go back to the Headstone Mines. Now, this is one mission that I've kind of always enjoyed because I think that it's kind of funny, if anything else. Like, Sledge has been defeated. He's not coming back. There is no way, no how that Sledge can do anything to one up himself. And yet, the mission of insult to injury is all about taking the time to go back to the Headstone Mine and destroy his entire operation, which, like, I'm all for. So, at this moment in time, I think it's reasonable to plant the charges, set off the explosion, and then finish off whatever side missions I can get a hand on, which I believe is just the one. And then we can finally, for the first time in my attempts of this challenge, enter the dust. I gotta say, this is so much different than what I was expecting to feel at this moment in time. But, like, I'm excited. I'm ready for this. Where is the third chart? Oh, there it is. Perfect. Yeah, I'll deal with you in a sec. There we go. The Survivor class mod actually has a little bit more to do with Mordecai's personality than one might initially think. Mordecai has always classified himself as a survivor, stating that in his life he was always the strongest, and being strong, being somebody who thought about his problems and solved them in a reasonable span of time was what actually, gave him his strength, gave him what made him unique. I just find it interesting that one of his first mods that you can get is the Survivor class mod. It could be better. Ew, shotgun. Yuck. But we have officially destroyed everything to do with Sledge. He has nothing left to gamble for, no arguments left to make. Onwards towards cigars, the classy man's smoke. Note that I do not endorse tobacco products, nor do I use cigarettes or any form of that type of merchandise. Um, but I do try to find humor in anything and everything that I can. Helps make the day go faster, be it a million and one bad puns. It all helps the day go by. So that's what I do, constantly. Anyways, we have ourselves a level 15 bruiser. Yeah, you know what? You miss every shot you don't take. We'll soon be introduced to 3 new enemy types. 2 to 3? The first being the Sithid. The Sithid are a bug-like creature. Fairly small, but they are agile. They jump around the battlefield fairly quickly, with their elemental variants being typically larger and explode with that elemental effect. So a fire Sithid will explode with a big fire blast. Corrosion will do the same with a corrosive blast. Okay, that is the most pitiful chest I've ever seen. No, I don't like it. You guys don't have good loot. Okay. So, there we go. This camp has been defeated. The stuffs have been taken back. We got 10 stuffs. And insult to injury, we have a series of skulls to remove from in here. I feel like this video is going a little bit longer than my average at this point, but unfortunately I am totally uncertain as to how much longer, if at all, simply due to the fact that this is somewhat new territory for me, having to wait X amount of time for healing factors to kick in. Got to start using my revolvers more, I think. But I've grown so accustomed to having my sniper rifles that revolvers just aren't doing it for me right now. Part of it is just that I don't know how to aim. And bam! All right. It's all good though. Alrighty, and new weapons. We have ourselves a Liquid Wrath Shock Sniper Rifle. So, the Caustic Wrath versus the Liquid. The Liquid Wrath wins. Liquid Sniper, level 16, is far stronger than my Flame Liquid Wrath. The Solid Gamble does more damage per shot, but is far, far less accurate. I suppose that's what they mean by it being a gamble. But, yeah. Okay, I'm getting some luck here. Lots of new sniper rifles in a very short span of time. Hopefully, one of these newer ones has similar effect to what I've been dealing with. But it is time to test out the new weaponry in the best way we know how. Approved. Yep, definitely approved. Anywho, got 3 more to deal with. I believe one of them's up on this post up here. Yep. We'll hand all these in and then we'll meet you next time. I think. Yeah, I think that's about time for that. Anywho, if you like what you see, if you're curious if I can get any more ridiculous, spoiler alert, I can. Or are simply just curious how the run is going, feel free to drop in, leave a like, leave a subscribe. Until then, I hope you have a good one.